it's time to make some best guesses. So here's how I filled in this spreadsheet for month 1 in my lemonade stand. Well, I'm assuming, again, big lemonade stand company, month 1, 1,000 glasses of lemonade get sold. And I'm using the same numbers as from the back of the envelope calculation. So $1 a glass, that's $1,000 in revenue, same 60 cents cost of goods, $600 in revenue, and so we have a net revenue of $400, right? So we have $400 to operate the company. Well, let's see what the fixed expenses are. Again, in this case, I'm starting small. We're just gonna have one sign that we make by hand. We'll spend $10 in parts to go do that. We're gonna have some flyers. We're gonna spread the flyers around the neighborhood to get the people to come and buy the lemonade. That's 1,000 glasses we have to sell. So we're gonna spend $50 worth of flyers. And then in terms of operation costs, let's assume we can find one cheap table for $15 and one spoon. And we'll skip the parts about what else we need. We probably need an ice machine. We probably need a pitcher or something to mix it in, but we'll just skip all that. It's a model company. We're gonna just talk about the spoon. And the spoon costs $5. Right, so the total expenses for that month are $80, which means our net profit or loss for the month is $320. 400 minus 80 is 320. Rather simple. So we don't need any investments because we've made money. It's a positive number. It's great. We don't need a loan. Again, it's a positive number. And so at the end of the month, we would have $320 in the bank if we ran this company. Now, one caveat here. Clearly, we're going to have to own some lemons and own some sugar and the table and the sign and some of the flyers on day 1 in order to make some sales. But by the end of the month, we would have a $320 profit. Now, where did the money come from for the first, who knows, $50, $60, $70 of expenses? Well, we'll just assume right now that came out of my pocket, and we'll just wave our hands and say it magically appeared and got repaid and everybody's happy. Which, in fact, is how a lot of companies get started. Credit cards are not an uncommon way to start a company. So let's move on to month 2. Okay, in month 2, we're gonna have some growth, right? Most companies grow month over month. So what you do is you add another column, label it month 2, and start filling it out from top to bottom. So in my plan, I'm gonna say we're gonna grow to 1,200 glasses, still gonna cost $1, and the cost of goods are gonna change slightly because we're not gonna have any more people making the lemonade. And so the actual cost in labor to make a cup will go down by a penny, which means our cost of sale is down to $708. Our net revenues for the month are $492. That's 1,200 minus 708. And in terms of expenses, well, we already built a sign. We don't need another one, so we're not spending more on that. But in order to have more customers, we have more flyers we're making, so we're gonna spend a little bit more on that. And again, assuming we have the table and the spoon and everything else, well, that's all zeros. And so our fixed expenses, in fact, went down for that month. Our fixed expenses were down to $60, which means our net profit or loss for the whole month was $432. No more investments, no more loans, and then here's how the cash works. Everything in the column is about the month, but the cash is how much total cash is in the bank at the end of the month. So what you do to compute this is take the end of month's cash from the previous column, right? So we take $320 and add to it the net profit or loss, which in this month is $432, and we get $752. That's where that number comes from. And we'll see how that continues on month over month in a moment. All right, time to do month 3. Again, make another column, label it month 3, and let's fill in some numbers. Now, what I do not advocate is that you go hog wild in terms of growth. I'm going to show that in this case solely to prove a point, right? So in month 3, I'm saying that we'll sell 2,500 glasses. We'll more than double month over month. Well, that type of growth is kind of crazy, but bear with me. I'm also going to drop the price. One way I'm going to say we're going to sell more is we're going to drop the price to 75 cents. And I'm going to assume that, again, we don't need any more people to make these glasses, so the cost of labor per cup is going to drop all the way to 5 cents. So our total cost of goods is 65 cents now, and our total cost of sales for 2,500 glasses is $1,375. So what's interesting to note here is that when you take your gross revenue minus your cost of sales, the net revenue for this month is $500. It's only $8 more than last month, even though we sold twice as many glasses. Okay, things like this happen. This is operating a business, changing prices. That's nothing to worry about. But let's keep going. Because down in the expenses, what I decided to do this month was to go big. So what we've done, instead of one handmade sign, I've bought 4 $25 professionally printed signs and spread them around town. And I started doing color flyers and printed a whole lot more, posted everywhere I could. So that was $500 worth of flyers. And I'm assuming we're gonna upgrade that cheap table we bought. We're gonna buy a much better table for $30 and 2 more spoons because we're gonna be busy mixing lemonade. And so the total expenses for the month come out to be $1,140. Now, if you're astute, you're saying, oh my God, there's a problem here. I only earned $500 and I spent $1,142. That's not good business. Well, sometimes you have to invest in order to make money later. All right, so we lost $640. Parentheses means negative numbers. So we've lost $640 for this month. But the interesting part, the reason why I boosted the sales so high to show this, well, we had the money in the bank. We had over $700. We lost less than $700. And so we're left with $112 in the bank. We're just fine. We could afford that investment. But as we'll see, you can't always do that.